as you started, journaling and going through this process of, contending with your thoughts on a day-to-day basis, what were some of the trends that you noticed about how you were thinking about the job search? What were some of the mindfulness realizations that came up?
Well, I there was one exercise, I say this exercise because I'm, that nerdy type. There
Mhm.
was one journal entry where I had to write down all of the experiences that I've had. And this was about 2 months ago. So I'm like, I've been laid off already at that point, probably at 4 or 5 months at that point still. Um, and it because you're going through this process of putting yourself out there and not receiving any, sometimes you're getting ghosted by, by hiring managers or recruiters. You never hear back. So it really puts you in this mindset of like, um, hello, is anyone hearing? I don't understand. Maybe I'm not giving the value. But one of the best journal entries that I put was like, I had to write down everything that I accomplished in previously, and remind myself that I used to lead teams. I was excellent at being a product developer. Um, so that was really helpful because I think you need to take inventory sometimes and remind yourself that you are you are very valuable. You just got to find the right company who sees that.
Yeah, that's fantastic because the farther we get from everything, and maybe this is even in the moment. I
Hmm.
know in the moment I have a hard time celebrating things that are good, right? And very often, someone I'm working with gets a job, and the next thought I have is, okay, who doesn't have the job? Like I'll forget to even
Yeah.
celebrate, right? I'll be like, good for you, and then I'll
Yeah.
just turn my head to the next person. I'll be like, one less person to think about. But there is this sort of overemphasis on the negative, especially because that's kind of how work is set up, right? If you've ever go to your year-end review or anything, they're like, here's all the things that you need to work on. Or you take a personality test, it's like, here's where you're not so great. And it also
Yeah.
says where you're great, but that tends not to be where we focus. We focus on where we're not so great. And so that's a really cool exercise to go back and really identify all the things that you've done
Hmm.
positive. And that's also a great prep for interviews as well, in order to have all your stories top of mind, ready to go, rather than trying to
Yeah,
search that memory bank while you're under pressure and nervous.
that's true. Yeah.
And so, as you worked through these emotions and you started to get more confident,
Yeah.
was there something that pushed you to start posting online and to start putting yourself out there and building a brand for yourself?
Oh man, when you say build a brand for yourself, that is something I'm still trying to figure out. Am I really? I think let me rephrase. I'm working on it, and
Hmm.
I think I am building towards something. Um, yeah, I think that employers want to see different side of you, so building your own personal brand is super important. Um, so for me, it all got kickstarted at the end of 2020 and entering into 2021. And my word for 2020 was resilience, right? Like I was laid off, but we're doing okay. My family is safe, they're healthy, financially we're okay. So for me, it allowed me to be just to survive. But in 2021, I came up with a new word for me, which was execution. So taking that power of resilience, what am I going to do with it now? I can't just let it sit there. So I just started to think, okay, well, let's start executing. Let's start really taking what you have been practicing in your head or journaling and put it out there and see what happens. So it really started with like a simple find a word phrase and go for it in 2021.